4 firefighting units operating once more, and in addition to our ambulance, which is here with us as well. For the period under review of the month of May, sir, we responded to 81 calls of fires and other emergencies. 8 of those were malicious. Um, for the period, we had a total of 7 persons being homeless as a result of these fires that we responded to. Um, we still have no word yet, sir, on the starting up of the project for the fire station at this time. Um, Still no further word on that, sir. Um, on the matter of the fireboat, at present we have 10 persons from the parish in Kingston on training for a 4-week course on boat handling. So that boat is still not yet with us, but training is taking place for persons to be brought up to a level of operating safe, sir. If any questions are there to be asked, I am prepared to take them.
Any questions for Mr. Dolphin Duman? Councillor Brown.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, fellow councillors. His Worship, it's not really a question per se. It's more of a commendation in light of other bodies not being here. Since I was elected councillor to this noble house here, in every council meeting, there has always been a representative from the fire department, and it shows a level of stoicism and discipline on your part, and it would be remiss of me not to publicly commend you for such proper representation of your agency. You've not missed a beat. I've seen you at committee meetings, I've seen you at various meetings, and it's a pity other agencies cannot emulate your modus operandi and be here today. So commendations to you, sir.
Thanks for that comment, Councillor Brown, and I could concur with you. But Mr. Doman has always been, and the fire department has always been one of the agencies that has always been present. But I think we might be getting a little closer. Has informed us that plans has been completed and discussion is now taking place between the Ministry of Local Government and JCIF to do the funding for your fire station. So I only hope that it won't be too long for us to see, not groundbreaking, because we have seen that already, but some actual construction of the Montego Bay fire station. And I don't know, Mr. Doman, I think an attempt was made by the former mayor to have quick response unit in some distance area in the parish. We came upon a challenge, and we all knew what the challenge was. I am saying, sir, from your standpoint, can you make a recommendation to us at the Municipal Corporation here as to what type of unit you think would be best suited for a quick response unit? Say, for example, one to be in Cambridge and one to be in Maroontown. Because there's no doubt that for you to traverse from here to Maroontown your arrival there is just a cooling down, because it's going to take you between 25 and 30 minutes to traverse to Maroon Town. And I saw Councillor Magan smiling. But we can also leave from Maroon Town to Somerton and Adelphi. So it is within a 15 minutes journey. So I would like for you, sir, to look at, because I've been looking, I've been exploring. I know the intent was good, that if we could get smaller units with the necessary capacity to at least arrive 20 minutes before you. And then probably when you get there now, then you could do the final cooling down. But they will be there in time to start the extinguishing of the fire. So see if you can look and make a recommendation to us, because there's a certain thought process that we at the municipality we are thinking about, because we have seen small fire trucks that would be more than adequate to traverse those terrains. So if you could, give us your own technical and expertise advice, then we would be guided by that. Thank you very much, Mr. Doe. Could we not, Mr. Lee, could we not have periodical refresher as it relates to some of these new laws? Because it in my opinion, would be very helpful to us. It will be very helpful, because I remember we attended a seminar some time ago, but I think a periodical refresher, just probably a half a day, we could even have it at the in the chamber here, and to just get us up to speed with what
contacted us formally requesting extension of time, and it relates to 18 Thompson Street and also 50 Market Street. I have been contacted telephonically by Fred Smith in relation to Queens Drive. We are to meet on site and identify the areas that he needs to address to abate the nuisance. I have not heard anything more from the other eight notices that have been served. We have been getting quite a bit of rainfall in the past couple of weeks, sir, and we still will deliver water where the needs arise, sir, once the money is available to do so, sir. Mr. Chairman, the issue related to the NWC elevated manhole, that was resolved, and we have put in some river shingle in the surrounding areas of the island. We are also looking on the possibility of putting some different color stones in there, and also some plants that will not attract persons removing them as we plant them, sir. We also will be planting some bougainvilleas on the top section close to the clock tower, sir.
Just a comment, you. I remember seeing a scope of work was presented here. Are we still conforming to the scope of work?
Well, basically, we have, there were some little minor adjustments, and those were really minor. It relates to really the landscaping aspect of the project.
Just from an observation too. I mean, I said it before at another meeting. We need somebody who has a touch for landscaping and designing and that type of finishing. I mean, a lot of money has been spent there, and it looked better than what it were. But I mean, I would love to see when you're approaching the clock, something jumps at you, make you feel as if you are entering, the city of Montego Bay. That era, it is a landmark, but it has been completed. And
Mr. Chairman, I understand what you're saying,
yes,
sir. I'm going to be recommending that we have get a small landscaping committee together so that we can, yes, because I don't want it to be out. No man, we just having more ideas put together, sir.
Ms. Cunningham smiling. I love to see things look good. That's a part of me. Upgrading of one-man beach. It needs some cutting super.
sir, during the course of this week, the verge cutting team was out there, sir. Cutting, and they were out there cutting, sir.
Zeros. Um, yes, very unfortunate. Yes, very unfortunate.
The, sir, I am very satisfied with how the property is being kept at this time, as relates to garbage and cleaning of the beach and so on. It's very, I would say very in a pristine condition. And I'm taking borrowing a word from yes. However, we still need to be looking on a shower facility, a freshwater facility, and a bathroom facility that will assist the residents of St. James and users of this beach a little bit more, sir.
Yes, Chairman, we do have some information, so we'll be dealing with that.
Concrete fix on the road. In recent times, we have been very vigilant where this is concerned, and we had also put in the mirror a notice asking persons to, if and when they see this kind of behavior, they should get the license number of the vehicle and communicate that to the parish council so that we can take action. In recent times, I've not seen a lot, so there is somewhat some compliance where that is concerned. The other one having to do with the National Water Commission and the Jamaica Public Service not allowing connection to buildings unless they would have had the approval of the parish council. We were advised that there are some kind of drawback where this is concerned. There's some conflict with the Light and Power Act, and so I'm expecting to get an official response so that we can decide how we proceed with this resolution. And that's why I'm still awaiting a formal response from the ministry where this is concerned. Okay. Chairman, we are still awaiting the transfer of the titles to the municipal corporation. We have signed the instrument of transfer that and we're now awaiting the completion. We're waiting the complete document to be sent back to us. So it's the developers who are working on it through their legal department. Streetlights within the parish. Want to speak on streetlight?
Councillors, street lights within the parish, I'm sure that most of you can comment in a very positive way of the effort that is being taken by JPS at this time in having the street lights in our various divisions repaired. What I can also say at this time, after speaking to the senior manager of JPS in St. James, street lights, there's a program to replace all the street lights within the city of Montego Bay with the new LED lights. At first, I remember there was a discussion as it relates to using some of these lights that will be taken out from within the city to be taken to the rural parts and into areas that are having challenges with light. But what I was assured is that what they will do, the lights which are not now working and is not being able to fix because of major damage to the light itself, they are prepared to replace those lights. Just the ones that are not working and not being able to fix, they are prepared to replace those lights with the lights that they will be removing from the city. And I think that is some positive news, because they weren't going to do anything in the first place. But they have now decided to use up some of those lights. And what I can say also is that they have started the changing out of those lights. And they started out in Oak Village, and I think they're down in the Freeport area now. So the removal of lights has started. And based on what I heard from a resident of Oak Village is like daylight at night now, because they're using the new LED lights. So it will be a process. They will be changing out some close to 6,800 lights. But certain areas will be priority areas, like Mount Salem, Granville, Norwood, the areas within the city, the areas that are most challenged with crime. Those are the areas that will be first fitted with these LED lights. I can give an example. Cambridge Division will only get three. I don't think so. Granville, when I'm finished with you, man, a day, your nights will be day. You can now rise.
You know, I only come at this time when I want to talk to my friend. but Mr. Chairman, it was my opinion that they were going to start in Granville first, based on what they said the meeting last month. But nevertheless, Chairman, the person told me that you have a schedule of the division that will be gradually changing. I have not received the schedule, Well, because Chairman, Chairman, I want to be the first person to go into my division and say, yes, it's coming. I don't want you, JPS, I want me to go in there and tell them, well,
true. I think they will be still doing some repairs, because the last report that we have gotten here from JPS is that they have repaired some over 300 lights. And I've never heard that in a report since I'm at this council. And I've been getting a lot of calls. And let me tell you, it came against the background of a meeting that we were able to broker with JPS and the Municipal Corporation. And there's one thing. This is one which is bearing a lot of light, not fruit. But lights are being fixed right across most divisions. I know all the divisions are not yet gone through, but I heard that Councillor Bent, he has fixed more lights more than what he has fixed in the last 20 years he has been on the council. Right? Right? So it is good, and it is a part of the relationship that we need to establish with JPS. Well, what better way? The light of the world. The light of the world. So, you know, I see Councillor Reid.
Should I? Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, it was also of my opinion that the Salt Spring Division would be the first, because I was called 2 weeks ago by the manager that they were coming my way and I should provide people to assist, which we were so ready. And I would expect that they would do so based on the fact that in the division, you know, it's a lot of activity, which is not good activities that is going on presently, and a lot of dark spot, etc., which of course would attract criminal and criminality. I keep calling that same gentleman that called me, and until now, for the past 3-4 days, I've not heard from him, and he have not returned the call. So I don't, Mr. Wilkins, so I don't know. I spoke with Miss Gibbs yesterday. She said she would assist me. I still haven't gotten that call. So I don't know if you, the mayor, can assist me in trying to find out if they're coming or they are not coming, because I need my lights to be replaced now. The whole division is entirely dark. It's difficult. Plus, I'm telling you, the activities that is taking place in that division, it should be priority. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councillor Reid. I will add my voice to the appeal, because I know you have a challenge in your area there. Right, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry about that. We have started the foundation. We have casted 90% of the foundation. We have also started the block work for the sub base of the building. So we will be going right to floor level, putting in electrical conduits, plumbing, and then we cast the floor, and then we will continue with the superstructure of the structure of the. Yes, sir.
Projects to be implemented by JC.
Mr. Chairman, the table that we see in the minutes, and I'm speaking that regarding the minutes that is in front of us, some persons may not have a copy, but that is the last report that we have received from JC on this matter. So we really don't have anything new to report on this matter at this time.
Resolution table
resolution is still at the ministry, Mr. Chairman. We have not had any response. We have had support from most councils on this resolution. They have given their full support to the resolution. It's for it now to be actioned at the ministry. And as soon as that is done, then we would have made some adjustment to our budget to allow for it to be actioned. Minus Trelawney. Forward it to the ministry again, Mr. Chairman. Awaiting their response. I've been forwarded to the ministry. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I've mentioned about the death, the passing of Captain Horace Burrell. I've already mentioned that, but June is the beginning of hurricane season, and as a municipality, we have been taking some preemptive action, and I've given directive to the superintendent to identify the necessary drains that are the critical drains that will need to be given some attention, and the necessary estimate be sent to the Ministry of Local Government for the necessary funding. There will be a Build Expo and conference at the Convention Center starting June the 9th. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 3 days. The official opening will be on Friday the 9th at 5 p.m. So those of us who can make it, let us go, because there will be some new thinking as it relates to building. On June the 15th, the arrival of Logos Hope. It's a book ship. We will have an official ceremony on that day. I would like to see all councillors, or as many councillors, attending that function. And Sally, can we notify the councillors, because a number of these events are taking place, and as political directorate, I think we should be at these events. There's a lot of networking that happens at these events. There will be a meeting with the barbers and hairdresser on the 19th of June. There will also be a meeting on the 26th of June, meeting with entertainers regarding amusement license and to discuss other issues. And I'm sure that public health will be interested in the barbers and hairdressers meeting on the 19th of June, and the entertainers meeting on the 26th of June. These meetings will be held at the Civic Center. There will also be a public forum, a town hall public forum meeting to be be held on the 22nd of June in Montego Bay. The venue is not yet confirmed, but it will be the Prime Minister along with the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation will be the main guest and presenter at this town hall meeting. It is being billed as an extraordinary type town hall meeting, of which the right venue is being looked at, but it will be somewhere in Montego Bay. On June the 21st, JPS will launch the Smart Streetlights program at the old hospital site. I am thinking that this launch should be in Sam Sharp Square, but I'm yet to get that change of venue. But if that is happening, then it will be out there in the public place, so we can all attend as councillors and as citizens. On Monday the 5th of June, we have implemented the new street vending measures, where a number of streets has been designated as no vending, and a number of streets has also been designated as vending between a certain hours of the day. And so far, early days, it has been going fairly well. And I can also report that we have had over 100 persons registered. And the registration, in my opinion, is a willingness of these persons to conform with what the municipality is seeking to achieve. And I must use this forum and occasion to say a big thank you to the vendors who have expressed a willingness to work with the municipal corporation in the best interest of the city of Montego Bay. And I am prepared to work with them in the best interest of the city of Montego Bay. I know it's going to be a challenge, but we cannot achieve unless we start. And we have started, and we will not relent on making sure that St. James Streets and all the other designated no vending streets is free of vending. And the areas that vending is allowed to take place, it will be allowed in a very disciplined and a very orderly way. We have issued, or we started issuing IDs to all the vendors who were registered. They have all signed contracts. They have all paid a registration fee of $3,000 for the year, and they are required to pay $300 per week to deal with sanitation and other municipality infringements. As a result, we have allowed the bathroom at the Civic Center, at the back of the Civic Center, to be opened until 1 a.m. So vendors with ID can go there and use the bathroom without any cost. And they are very happy with the idea. And we will be looking also at having urinals installed in some concealed areas within those areas. So the male especially don't have to stand beside a light post and, ease themselves. So we are committed to work with the vendors. I've encouraged the vendors to put themselves in a committee, and so we can have weekly meetings with them to have discussion and for us to get a feedback and for us to also tell them what we are observing and to have a monitoring team to make sure that we have the situation under control. So that is a work in progress. As it relates to our friends at Cornwall Regional Hospital, because I remember when the challenge started, the Minister of Health came here and met with us, and we had given him our commitment that we will be working with the Cornwall Regional Hospital and the health sector in general in the parish of St. James. And so I am pleased to announce that we had approved a building plan for the modification and extension of the maternity wards at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. And we have not only approved the plan, but we have waived all the fees that would be normally associated with that plan. And that is where I think the partnership going forward is solid, and we are prepared to work with our main medical institution for them to expedite the process, because the plans came in here less than a week and it was so approved. And not only approved, the fee was waived. I will give you, sir. We have just gone through Labor Day, and we had a very successful church service, and the civic ceremony at Sam Sharp Monument and that morning went very well. I made an observation that I think the attendance could be much better. So next year we will be starting early, and we are hoping to have a response that would be fitting to our national hero, Sam Sharp. For Labor Day, work has been done on the parish project, the Montego Hills Police Station. And I need to get an update to see how far we are there, because I know we have committed some $1 million from the Municipal Corporation, and we have gotten $150,000 from Jamaica Public Service and $25,000 from the St. James Lay Magistrate Association. So I need to have a breakdown how that money has been spent, what is balanced, what do we need more to do at this time, because I will be seeking funding to see if we can get that section of the roof that is over the guard room repaired. So it is a work in progress. We know we could not have achieved everything on Labor Day, but we are prepared to, at the end of this exercise, to make the men and women at the Montego Hills Police Station have a more comfortable environment to work in, because what we went and saw there, I wasn't proud, to say the least. One of our own, Councillor Winters, his father's passed away recently. The funeral service will be held on July the 2nd at the Anchovy Seventh-day Adventist Church at 10 a.m. I should not even appeal to the councillors, because I know we will be there in full support. But I know this time is a very difficult time for Councillor Wint, and I want you to convey our sincere condolences from the Municipal Corporation to your family and to you yourself at this time of bereavement, and we will give our support. And I'll ask councillors to remember not only Councillor Wint, but the family in your prayers. This ends Mayor's announcement, and I will accept comments from the floor. Chief Public Health Inspector, Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Mayor, oftentimes when you are sent by the bigger heads to do a job, it causes some nerves sometimes, because you want to do a good job every time. But on behalf of the Minister and the Ministry of Health, I want to thank you very much for dealing with this plan for us. As you know, the situation that we are in at the moment. And as always, when we request of the Parish Council, they always respond. This time it's no different. So once again, sir, thank you and the Council very much.
You're welcome, sir. Local Board of Health. Can you have a... Yeah. Local Board of Health.
At that meeting, there were several barbers, hairdresser pushers, hairdressers, tradie were considered, and the document is circulated. They have met all the requirements of the public health and also the parish council, and therefore they are presented here for approval, and therefore I ask Mr. Chairman that you
Can I have a motion, please? Thank you.
Seconded, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Can I have a report to mosquito control in the parish of St. James, and also report from the Public Health Department? Take those two reports. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Good afternoon to you, rest of the councillors, professionals here at the St. James Parish Council, and the agencies, and members in the audience. In the last 3 or 4 weeks,
Excuse me, on a point of order, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move a motion to extend the meeting past 1 o'clock.
Continue with the report.
I'm asking to be protected. Yeah. The last 3 or 4 weeks, last 3 or 4 weeks, Your Worship, would have seen an increased rainfall in the parish, and as such, the complaints of mosquito nuisance would have been increased. We would have increased the work hours of our staff, but and tried to respond to these complaints as quickly as possible. Based on assessment, constituencies like this East Central, St. James, and South St. James would have been affected worse. On Monday, we have the Ministry have released some monies for us to employ 20 persons that have already been trained, and those persons will be deployed to those areas starting Monday of next week. Our core team will continue to monitor other areas in the parish. The government has also announced a release of $88 million, which we will receive a portion of that to employ another 50 persons to carry out vector control activities in the parish. So we're asking for some patience as we seek to effect remedial measures where this nuisance is concerned. Our eroding control program has started in earnest, and like we had announced, we have started at the clock, Barney Street. We are now in the vicinity of Harbour Street and the town centre. I want to once again thank the council and the Tourism Enhancement Fund who have provided the funds for us to carry out such an important activity. We will seek to extend this program into December, because based on the reaction of some of our business places, one of international repute would have come on board recently, but I want to wait to give the same pride of place as we would have given yourself and the Tourism Enhancement Fund. So I'm sure that that program will continue into December of this year.
As it relates to the vector control, I hear you mention some $80 million. But do you have enough of these fogging machines to really saturate the parish?
The allocation that is coming, Chairman, will include equipment to include fogging machine. So we'll add another 8 to the current amount that we have. So we will cover the parish in a more effective way.
And I will also say that if there are challenges as it relates to transportation, the municipal corporation would be very happy to extend that cooperation with public health, because I know it's a difficult time with all this rain over the last couple of weeks, and the complaints are far and wide. Far, people are complaining.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We'll take you up on that.
Is there any comment, observation? Where is it? Councillor Lee, do you have that report? Oh, it was presented at public health meeting. Okay. So, can we know? Sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good afternoon to everyone. Apologies if you did not receive the report as well as the fogging schedule, and will ensure that same will be circulated. Just to add, Your Worship, in terms of actions from the St. James Public Health Services, that our health centers, all 22 being operational, and we want to say thanks to our council, especially from the Maroon Town Division, who assisted in the Labor Day project that took place at Maroon Town Health Center, in which painting of the health center and repairs to the roadway was done. Also at Barrettown Health Center, Labor Day projects did take place with support from the Political Directorate and Corporate Jamaica. We will be requiring additional assistance to complete work or to do work at the Roehampton Health Center, as well as fencing for Greenpond Health Center. And we are making moves towards reopening Hopetown Health Center as a satellite clinic, providing services maybe 2 days per week. But more information on that will be forwarded. For the Montego Bay Type 5, with effect from Monday, June 5th, we began opening to the public for curative services from 7 a.m. Services will now be offered 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays up to 9 p.m., and on the weekend it will be operating from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This will facilitate persons in particular who have not been able to access services at our health centers during the normal 8:30 to 5 working hours. The extended services that used to take place at the Mount Salem Health Center will no longer take place. As you know, we are occupying facilities from Western Jamaica Conference, and so it is not feasible to provide those services during the extended hours as previous. We are also, as an agency, moving towards showing appreciation to our clients, recognizing that it is our honor to serve them, and so a series of Client Day appreciation days have been done, and we had our first one on Monday at the Montego Bay Type 5 Health Center. Others will take place. Just to note also, as we approach July, when we will be seeing an increase in the number of persons wanting to access school medicals, and we know that the GSAT results will be out shortly, we have also established a schedule where we will be, in addition to having regular slots allocated for persons to access school medicals, we will be increasing, having particular days when we will be able to see 30 to 50 persons on a particular day, and that schedule will be released shortly. Finally, Mr. Chairman, we want to emphasize or to highlight an initiative from our Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, that of Jamaica Moves, where we encourage everyone to become more physically active. This is one of the risk factors that is known to to promote chronic diseases. If we increase our physical activity 30 minutes a day for at least 3 times a week, then we are well on the way to reducing the effects of high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, and such the like. And so we would have, as a team, participated in the recent Guardian Life 5K run walk, which took place on Saturday night, and I hope there were other persons who participated in that. And we want to encourage persons, when these events take place, that you be a part of it. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you, sir. The St. James Public Health Services will be having an activity on July 31st, and we hope to have it at the Dump Up Beach. And it will run from 10 a.m. till about 6 p.m. and it will include lots of physical activities, entertainment, screening, and we look forward to seeing persons out. And we do encourage, wherever you are in your workspace at all times, try to promote physical activity. Even in a meeting like this, you can take a break and do some stretches and movements in order to improve on that. I thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you have ended on a very encouraging note. I know Senator Sinclair is very anxious to get that program going, and as such, I will have him as the chief liaison between the municipality and the St. James Public Health Services.
Last aspect of what was raised. I want to believe that the program that the Honorable Minister has been trumpeting about Jamaica moves and so forth is one that can be instead of it being just viewed as a national approach, that it can be done locally and done through the local authorities, or if not the local authorities, some local bodies. But what was suggested, that a program is going to be done in reference to the location, which is on the waterfront. I won't use the term used by my friend from the Ministry of Health, but on the waterfront, which is a good location, is a location that the council has a part control of, in the sense that we manage the park as well as we do management of the beach that is called the One Man Beach, I believe. That if we could have that partnership whereby, in addition to the services that the Ministry of Health will provide in respect to blood pressure checks and all of that, that there can actually be a, when they have these aerobics type of activities. I was in Costa Rica, and every evening, it's a country that has a lot of parks, a lot of green areas. And when you look in those green areas, every weekend you see hundreds of persons that are out and doing organized aerobic classes and exercises and so forth. And it's something that I think we could participate in, partnering with the various health services, so it can include other messages that relate to health. And if we can get it going quickly, then and sustain, and it is sustainable, that I think we will be doing our citizens in St. James good service. The Chief Public Health Inspector made reference to the rodent control program, and I would
I've appreciated the report a little better if we were to be able to get empirical data. But just to say that we have moved from the Clock and Barnett Street and we are now at Harbour Street really doesn't come across to me as are we achieving the objectives of the program? And as I said earlier, when the program was being enunciated, it is not just being enunciated for us here as councils, it is being enunciated for the purpose of disseminating the information, getting the buy-in from the public, and I was very happy to see that the press conference was done between the council and the Ministry of Health, Public Health, whereby it was, and it got front page attention and brought to St. James residents that there is a critical situation, because the photograph that I saw of the officer from the public health department holding up that rat, which is not, it can't be described as a rat. I didn't appreciate that we had rats that large. I actually thought it was a mongoose. But I thought that photograph brought home the point. And what you're trying to achieve in respect to the vending and etc., to organize it in such a way and to ensure that the bathroom facilities that are available are used is something that when you incorporate all of it, I'm certain it is going to do well. And persons who are not willing to participate in ensuring that we move away from the existing situation, and I'm certain that the relevant force of the local authority and the other agencies will be brought to bear. And nobody at that time can complain because you have sold the information, but I just think that it can be sold better so that when you go the sledgehammer, that everybody is on the same page and appreciates that the efforts are being made. Mr. Chairman, lastly, this municipal corporation over the years have been battered and bruised by members of the public saying that there are not sufficient bathroom facilities available for use by the public. I disagree with it because I think that the municipal corporation over the years have facilities that are in public places that the public can use. It's just that they probably have not been highlighted with in a particular way. So you have at the Civic Center car park, there's one at 4th Street, there's also one at the bridge, which is a parish council owned property where the bathroom facilities are upstairs, probably that one because it is under the control of a private operator, can be looked at and improved and so forth. And we have those at the Civic Center. The one at the Clock I don't think is operational, but it should be made, we should seek to get it back into operation. I also want to believe, and I consulted with the Director of Planning, that when plans come here, and when plans leave from here and go to the Public Health Department for the purpose of review before passage, in every plan there is a bathroom facility that is identified in private establishments for the use by their customers and visitors. Pardon me? Private commercial places. They are commercial, so they are inviting persons into their operation. But Mr. Chairman, and I've heard members of the public complain to this council. But when the situation, a personal situation, and I won't go too much into it, came to my attention, whereby a recently done development in the Boom area, where you have banks, you have clothing stores, you have restaurants, etc. All types of activities. But these establishments don't seem to have bathrooms that are available for use by their customers. And in the particular case, an inquiry was made of the security officer as to where was that restroom when a customer was inside the facility seeking to find a bathroom for use by a child. And they were told that there was none available. None. So the child was taken on the outside of the building and had to use on the outside of the building in the public space in order to relieve himself. It was placed on social media, and other comments were attached to it from persons who I know personally, who communicated to me that they also work in one of the establishments that are in that particular area. And they said that a customer came in there. This was what they reported to me. A customer came in, rain was falling, customer was seeking to do his business and wanted to use the restroom in the interim. And they were told, the person asked the manager if the customer could use the bathroom that is reserved for staff because there is none for use by the customer. And they were told that they had to go several blocks up in the vicinity of Fontana in order to use it. So the person had to go find an umbrella, walk out into the rain to go to that location. I know a report has been made to the public health. I am asking the chief public health inspector if any inspection inquiries have been made of the locations that were identified, and if there is any action or any other type of report that can be given. Is there a requirement for these places to have restroom facilities for the use of their customers at a convenient location in that particular development or in any other establishment? If there is any regulation that requires it, probably we can hear from the public health inspector and or the director of planning and building, the superintendent, if they can tell us. And if there is, then I'm asking that we put out a relevant notice and put these commercial entities on notice that they must comply with what is contained in the regulations, if there is such. And if the plans that were submitted to the council contained these facilities, but they were excluded on the actual implementation and construction of these commercial centers, that they should put themselves back in compliance and that an appropriate inspection and relevant notices be served on them if they do not meet it by a particular period of time.
Mr. Chairman, through you to Councillor Sinclair. I will go to the building plan before I answer this complaint. The plans that come to me from this facility for those commercial entities that you speak of usually come with facilities for customers. Even an inspection, it will verify same. After a while, you will have a change of use. And it's that we have seen it over time to include basic recommendations that you yourself have made to other facilities. We're talking about simple things like placing a wash and sink. And it is done in your presence. That's not hard to do. But you go by there next year or next week. It becomes a storage area. So the wash and is moved. And we find that every day. So these plans are submitted to indicate this. After a while, you have a change of use. The complaint that you mentioned was investigated by the St. James Department, and it was verified to be true. We have since served a notice on that facility, and we are in dialogue with the general manager. He's updating us on the progress, so we know that in short order that facility would have been brought back to its original use. As far as the other facilities that are in that area, a survey is currently being done, and where those facilities are absent, notice will serve.
Thank you.
I will submit a report to the council and the survey that is done and what the health department would have achieved as far as placing back those facilities.
We could get something with a little more meat on it. Empirical data. Instead of saying that we have moved from Barnett Street to Harbour Street.
That report will come as well, Chairman.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that insightful discussion, Councillor Sinclair, and the response on the public health. Because from time to time, we as customers, we go to some, sir.
And is the public health chief saying that there are regulations that govern, instead of just the building plants, are there regulations that govern yes, as it as a requirement? And if so, let us put it out there to the public to say regulation so and so and so requires this particular situation. And if your premises will be inspected, who is not in order, get themselves in order by end of July or whatever the period may be.
That will come along with the report, Chairman.
Yes, yes. We have to look at public health in a very holistic way. And I think I've always said that public health and the municipal corporation joins at the hip. Hence, there's a lot of things that we share. Can I have a motion reverting to regular meeting? Municipal matters. Salih?
Resolutions. So we have a Municipal Corporation, and they are supporting the resolution for committee chairman to be paid additional reward for their position of chairman. I also the St. Mary's Municipal Corporation, and they're also supporting the resolution passed by this council for municipal officers to serve the nuisance notices and the public health under the public health regulations. So those are supported by the St. Mary's Municipal Corporation. I'm also a support from the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation for the town nuisance again regulation to be served by municipal officers. And finally, Mr. Chairman, I have a resolution from the St. Elizabeth Parish Council, and they're presenting this resolution for our support, and it reads, it's not very long, I'll just quickly go through it. It's a resolution for funds to assist residents with household water, and it starts off by saying where the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation is charged over $5 million per month for standpipe, and whereas the corporation would like to save at least $20 million annually in water bills. And whereas the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation would like to have partial eradication of standpipe, that's what they said, by at least 90%, which would save taxpayer much needed fund by year 2020. They say, be it resolved that the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation in session request of the Honorable Minister of Local Government and Community Development a grant of $1 million per year for each parochial division to assist residents in acquiring water in their homes, and where there is no portable water, tanks, black tanks and drums be provided. And it's a be resolved that this program be implemented by the Poor Relief Department in the various municipal corporation, and they want this to be sent to the municipal corporation for their support. $1 million per parochial division to be given to each councillor to assist persons with getting water connected to their home, or in the case where there is no water, they install black tanks. And they want your support on this resolution. Noted. All right. Okay, man. All right. I have no other resolutions.
I wish to give notice to this Honorable Chairman in my intention of the next physical planning meeting. So, move a resolution for the implementation of impact fees on developers. This meeting. Thanks for the correction. The next council meeting, move a resolution for the charging of impact fees to developers of subdivisions and schemes in the municipality of St. James.
Thank you. Is there any recommendation from the finance committee? Lee? Any recommendation from the finance committee?
No, Mr. Chairman, I don't have any recommendation from the finance.
Okay.
I have no more correspondence from this here on this desk.
Is there any application for building permits? Any subdivision matters? As it relates to the fixing of the council seat, is there any? Salif?
No, Mr. Chairman, I have no other matter from the municipal department. No other municipal matter on this desk.
New matters? Any new matters? Any new matters? There being no new matters, I must thank each and every one who have stayed the course.
Sorry, sir.
You were consulting on your new matter? You were distracted by the senator?
Not the senator.
Okay.
I was being given the advice as to how to go about it. I'm sorry for my influence. Samuel, the parish of St. James has been inundated with bad weather in the past 2 weeks and have caused severe hardships on our citizens, including some communities still cut off. And it is my intention to request that motion be moved for assistance to the divisions in excess of $1 million for flood damage relief. In the sum of $5 million for St. James.
that we flooded and we take them backward to take it up. So my division loan in 5 million is emergency, but I support it to 7 million. And I think my colleague will support it. 5 million is a tip in the bucket based on the damage, Mr. Chairman, that happened over the last couple of weeks. Second, you can go see my work and go after I wrote until nothing. It's the second, sir. Yes, sir. All in favor? Once you come to money, everybody in check. Aye.
It is a very it is a very positive note. Councillors, Councillor Troop, now that you have heard money, you stop listening. Okay.
I was saying to you that when I was support, I know the village side. And my colleague is the money. Ask that person to answer. May I, sir?
No, let's stay until after lunch. This council now stands adjourned.